Yeah, a little bit.
Raise your hand, we'll get 2 microphones to you. Go ahead for the first question.
You'll love this, Cal, but what can you tell us about Canada?
Did we just play a game or no? If he does this one more time, I'm going to chase him down the hallway.
You won't catch me.
And those boots you wear, I will. Let's talk about the game first.
Coach, what about the play if you're a freshman? I know you're not in comparison to last year's freshman, but at least for one game, they played really well.
I thought Brandon had a great floor game. I thought he ran the team and he was in control. He went when he should have. He shot when he should have. And that is amazing after the practices we've had. And Duran made shots, made plays, 3 assists, 1 turn. I thought Duran defended almost as well as I've seen him defend this year. And then Terrence, other than a bad start to the second half, the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half really competed. And basically what he did is competed because Brown was killing us. And what I told him after the game, kid, you may be our post defender. It may be you. You may be it. So that they can't just throw it to the post on us and score. But he did a lot of other things. And again, he had no turnovers, which is incredible. And, you know, the one thing I want to tell you, East Tennessee State is a terrific team. They're picked to win their league. They should be right there. They're playing without one of their better players, yet we shot the ball well, which is why that gap was there. Offensively, you know, we did some good things and we found each other, 18 assists, we only had 10 turns, but the reality of it is we made shots. He has never played the 1-3-1, and we prepared for it because I knew he had to watch the West Virginia game. And so we were a little bit more than ready to say, okay, they're going to play us 1-3-1, and we were. It's hard. You think about it. You have to work on a 2-3 defense, a 3-2 defense, a 1-3-1 defense. You got to go the dribble drive. You got to put in some sets. You got to put out of bounds plays. They trap on the out of bounds plays. It's a difficult first game. To play a pressing team that traps and does some things on out of bounds plays, you have to prepare a little different. But Murray's as good as it gets, and that team's going to be really good. Disappointed in our free throw shooting. I mean, you know, the 3 freshmen should have all had 20. You know, Brandon missed 3 in a row, which I've never seen him do. And Terrence, you know, 3 for 10. So those two went 30% and 25% from the free throw line. But they competed, and that's what I wanted to see today. I just wanted to see some fire.
Raise your hand. Next question. Anybody?
This is easy.
Yeah, right. Cal, is this what you were talking about in learning how this team has to play in terms of
Yeah.
50-50 balls and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, there was a play Terrence got beat on the sideline. There was a play late Josh got beat. There was a play late that a ball went over John Hood's head. He just was paralyzed. He couldn't go. I mean, those plays we have to be able to make. Darius is better than he played. You know, I was on Darius because I want him to have to respond to that because we're going to count on him. And what I did was we went to a different lineup, and that lineup exploded the game. You know, and that happens sometimes. You make one sub, and all of a sudden the game changes. And I thought Josh Harrelson was good. Josh is what he is, and he did pretty good. He's in the best shape he's ever been in, and Eloy's got to catch up to him. So we will see.
Cal, is that about what you expect out of Liggins? And could you also talk a little bit about the week that Eloy has had, on the things he's gone through?
Yeah, if DeAndre plays that hard, I'd like a few more rebounds, but 6 assists, 3 turns, and a couple of the turns were just, he hit through to the wrong man. But, you know, I thought that he did well. We need Darius. Darius has got to be one of those catalysts for us. You know, he's got to play. And when it's on, like he got 11 rebounds. Like he almost gets a double-double, and I think he's way better. Well, I would hope that that's how I challenge all my guys. And but DeAndre was good, Darius was good, but they're better. Our freshmen played well, but they've got to get steadier. They got to get rougher and tougher. We got to defend better.
Cal, you guys had the best of it rebounding. Was that a case of gang rebounding, especially without Ennis?
Well, and we have absolutely beat them since that first exhibition game. Today I said, you guys will be off tomorrow, and Terrence Jones went, yahoo! And I said, until 6 o'clock. And he about fell on the floor. But we've been doing that rough, tough stuff, and I think it paid off. But I'm still trying to learn about the team, and that's why you play East Tennessee State. I'll watch this tape. There's things I'm going to pull out of this tape to say, we got to get better at this area and that area. How are we going to play post defense? Thank goodness East Tennessee did this to us. And Murray knew. He just kept going back at the guy. The guy's a great coach. He just said, I'm going back, I'm going back, and I'm going back. And that's what he did. And so we got to figure out, if they have a guy like that, how are we going to play? What are we going to do? Now, you notice we started trapping in the second half. We've not worked on it one time. That being said, I couldn't be mad when we did it wrong. I haven't worked on it. I haven't coached him. I haven't talked about it. So, you know, I told him we're fine with that.
John, you mentioned working on the 1-3-1. Before the Dillard game, you said y'all hadn't worked much zone offense. In general, what did you think of your zone offense tonight?
Not bad. They found each other. They made the extra pass. We got it in the middle. A couple guys broke it down. Duran and Eloy broke down the offense, went to the wrong spots. When you do that and don't have spacing against the zone. But the other thing is, we're dangerous enough that every guy out there can make a three. Now you play zone at your own peril. Where last year, you know, Dwayne said to me, went in practice, Cal, we didn't make any shots in practice. And he said it. And I forgot. That was the beginning of last year. We didn't make any shots. And I kept telling them they were good shooters. We're good shooters. We'll be fine. We'll never be hurt by shooting. Because I hope we're dunking on everybody. But this team, they make shots. Now, I just told them in there, you're not going to do this every game. You're not going to shoot that well. But if you defend and attack that glass and make free throws, like we did today, you'll be fine. You don't have to make 50% of your threes, make 35. We were making 10, 19 at times last year. So, but the gang rebounding helped us, and like I said, they're an athletic team enough to go after us, and you know, all that kind of stuff was good. 18 assists, 10 turns. We did some good things. I'm happy, and I told them this was a good team that's going to win their league, and you know, it's a good win for us.
Coach, you had Harrelson in the starting lineup tonight. I'm curious, are you looking for a set lineup for consistency, or could this be a group that you may adjust throughout the season based on matchups?
Well,
with
if
the
you
opponent?
look, the best lineup we had was with Darius coming off the bench, if you look today. So when I watch the tape, I'll see that and say Darius was the one coming off the bench when we were the best. Josh played well, got in foul trouble, we went to Eloy, and we did fine. How was the small lineup today? I don't know, you'll have to tell me. I can't remember, I'll have to watch the tape and figure out how we played when we were small. I think that's when 41 went at Darius in the post and scored like 4 straight times, I think. And if we go small, do we trap the post? I mean, there's so many, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of things we got to answer. The other thing is, do we play some zone if we get in foul trouble? Because we're not playing a lot of people. In 95, I didn't play zone, and we played 5-6 guys. So I just tell them, you ready? This is the greatest coaching advice I can give you. Don't foul.
2 more questions.
Since he just said 2 more questions, can you talk about Cantor's situation and how optimistic you are?
Well, let me say this. One, I respect the NCAA's decision. I don't agree with it, but I respect their decision because it's a hard decision. I will say this. Ennis Cantor is like my son or any of your sons out there. He got money from no one except his dad. He got nothing from anybody except his dad. And his dad did not do anything wrong. His dad did all the things he thought were going to make sure his son stayed an amateur. No one can argue the point that this kid wanted to be an amateur, and so did his father. Now, if they did some things they didn't know were wrong by our rules, maybe, but they didn't do anything wrong, and I feel bad. So we're looking at the appeal and thinking that, you know, common sense, people will look at this in a common sense way and say, you know what, the kid deserves better than this. But again, I respect the decision they make because it's hard. This is one they have not seen. And now it's like, well, wait a minute. Educational expenses, we've never seen this before. There are things they haven't seen. But I respect what they've done, I just don't agree with it. And that's all I'm going to say. So if you ask me another question, I'm not going to answer it. Anything on my basketball team? All right, great.
Are you optimistic at all?
Great talking to you guys.
John,